Welcome to Carrickfergus Castle. This is a Norman castle started in the year 1178 by a knight named John de Courcy. It's one of the best preserved Norman castles anywhere in Ireland. Let's go inside and have a look around. Here we are in the castle's gatehouse. The gatehouse was designed to keep out enemies. In front of where we're standing, if you look up, you'll see a portcullis gate. There was a second gate behind. These would have been dropped if the castle was under attack. And above our heads, if you look up, you'll see the murder hole. The room above has a fire where they could heat sand, pitch, tar, oil, even water to throw down on attackers. Also, if you look to the arches at either side here, you'll be able to see some scores. This is where the castle guards would have sharpened swords and spears and other weapons. From here, we'll go up the steps to our right into one of the front towers and have a look in the constable's strong room. Here we are in the constable's strong room. The first constable of the castle was appointed by King John in 1210. Here you'll see a model of one of the constables from 1333. His name was Ronald of Richmond. The constables were in charge of the castle, the staff, the valuables, and even went as far as local customs and taxation. From here, if we go straight ahead, we can go out and have a look at the castle's west battery and our two oldest cannon. Here we are on the west battery. Here you will find the two oldest cannon that date from 1710, 1711. You can also see the gun ports. If you have a look at the bricks in the castle, quite a lot are from the Elizabethan era. You can have a walk up the steps and look along the battlements. And now we'll go back down the steps and up to the other side of the towers and go inside the castle's chapel. The castle chapel is in the east front tower. Originally, the two towers were circular, but were halved during the 16th century. So if you look up in here at the ceiling, you'll see it's Elizabethan brick. Because it's inside, it's still in pristine condition. Behind where we stand is the chapel window. This is an original window from an older chapel and is the only carved thing in the whole castle. The buildings directly behind us were put up in the 16th century. They were meant to be storage units, but quickly became the overflow for the Carrick Town Jail. There were prisoners held here until 1860, when they were all moved to the Crumlin Road Jail in Belfast. And these buildings once more became storage units. Until World War II, when they were air raid shelters. They were fitted with bunk beds, toilets, stoves, and an extra door. From here, we'll walk towards the arch, towards the main keep. Behind us, you'll find the arch leading to the inner courtyard and John de Courcy's original castle. In front, there's a broken down wall. This is what remains of the second part of the castle, built around 1217 under the orders of King John. And finally, the front areas of the castle were the last parts to be added. In this middle ward, you'll find some more cannons. These date from 1780 to around 1800. And facing out to the sea, there are 4 large guns. These are post-1860 and were originally ship's guns changed for land use. From here we go through the arch and into the inner courtyard. Here we are in the castle's inner courtyard. The area where we're standing would have been the Great Hall. And to the left, there's a red brick arch. This was the castle's original entrance. The statue you can see behind is that of the Lady Affreka. She was John de Courcy's wife and was a Viking princess from the Isle of Man. Another thing you can see here is a much more modern piece of history. There's a munitions tunnel and a magazine. The magazine was where they held explosives, and the munitions tunnel was to get them quickly out to the ships in the harbour. These weren't built until 1889. Please feel free to go up in the battlements and have a look at the beautiful views. From here, we'll step inside the main keep. Now we're in the ground floor of the keep. We walked in through a door, but there never would have been a door on this floor. To get into these rooms, you would have been upstairs and come down an internal staircase. There are 2 vaulted rooms of the same size, and being the coolest part of the castle, these would have been used mostly for storage, especially for food and possibly some food preparation. There's a small display of the types of foods just behind us. You can have a look at these. And also, next door, you can see the well where we know they had access to water. From here, we'll go up the stairs to the next part of the keep. Here we are in the first floor of the keep. This would have been the entrance to the keep. Just to our left, there's a wall. In medieval times, this wall wasn't here. It was added during the 16th century to strengthen the floors above. The main feature in this room is the well. The well's in the floor. It's 35 foot deep, and at the bottom, there is still fresh water. John de Courcy chose this site to build his castle for a number of reasons, but one of the main reasons was the fact that there was already a freshwater supply. This is the castle's sensory room. It's based on the first floor of the keep. It's a quiet space for any of our visitors who may have sensory needs, and it's open all day, every day. Here we are in the castle's banquet hall. If you have a look around the table, you'll see we've prepared a banquet, and you can see all the many different foods that would have been popular all those years ago. The top table is known as the Great High Table, and this is where the person given the banquet would have been sitting, the most important people in the room. And then you would sit according to your social standing for the banquet. You'll also see in this room a golden boat. This is called a nef, N-E-F, and it would have contained salt. Salt was precious, very expensive, and it would be given out at the banquet to show that the castle was a wealthy castle. There's a small room next door. If you go into it, you can see some menus and some feast days from medieval times. We're going to now go upstairs to the top floor, but on the way, have a little look in on a doorway on the staircase, where you'll see King John on one of the castle latrines or toilets. Carrickfergus Castle has a long and eventful history. It's been attacked and defended many times, notably the Scots in 1316, the French in 1760. It's been a military castle right up to 1928. It was also in use during World War I and World War II. In World War II, it was part of the defences of the Belfast shipyard. In 1961, Queen Elizabeth II came along and officially opened the castle for visitors, so everyone could come along and enjoy the history. On this floor, please take your time, have a look through all of the windows at the magnificent views. Go outside and explore the rest of the castle, and we hope you enjoy it. Thank you for coming on the tour.